All right, everybody. Week 6 is underway. I am extremely hungover from a great wedding. The Irish, man, they know how to throw a party. They're not known for their cooking, but those
Whoa,
boys
whoa, whoa,
know.
whoa, whoa.
All
You
right,
could just
no
give them praise.
disrespect.
You don't got to shit on them at the same time.
That's fair. All right, they just
Jeez.
know how to party.
There we go. Thank you.
No
We appreciate
disrespect,
that.
man. All
I'm
right.
glad all the Irish were partying with you last night because they weren't in South Bend, that's for sure.
No, I mean, they haven't given them much to party about,
That's true.
and I think that's to be expected the rest of the season. Tough slate this week, gentlemen. We're going to go over quite a few of them, and we are going to start with the Bucks laying 10. I'm seeing it around 10, 9.5 in some spots against the Steelers. Who do you like there, Sean?
Yeah, up until about Thursday, I wanted to go back to the Steelers. I know they killed me last week, but that's the way I was looking. But come Thursday, I mean, they're missing their top 3 corners. Minka's out. They're still missing TJ. It's not something I can back. But they're going to stand up here as best they can. So I lean to the Steelers, but it's a pass for me.
I would lean Steelers too, Sean. I think just because of I bought in last week with you, and after getting the dog shit kicked out of them by the Bills in Buffalo, I'm not ready to back the Steelers at home, even though I'm seeing enough money with an even ticket count on Pittsburgh to like make it a buy, make it a lean. Even on the over too at 42.5, wouldn't hate playing that over. Riding less than about 35% of the tickets, getting a lot of the money there on the over. So that's interesting to see. But otherwise, yeah, leaning on this game. Sorry, Mike, I don't think we're convincing you either way on that one.
No, I agree. Just in Pittsburgh, it's a ton of points, but they're banged up, and I'm still kind of waiting to see that Bucks offense come to life. And I feel like this is a great position for them to actually put together a lot of good drives and punch it in the end zone a few times. I don't have a play on this game, but I am interested to see if the Bucks offense can finally wake up against a very banged up Steelers defense. All right, let's move on. I guess some would call this a rivalry. I don't know if it really is, but we're in Indianapolis. They're laying 1.5 against, I think, a tough Jacksonville team.
Yeah, I would lean to the Colts here. I mean, this matchup is really who's at home wins the game for the most part. But Indy last week, the last couple weeks, it's just not something I can back. Their offensive line's been so bad. And Jacksonville actually has a solid defensive front this year. But it's just going to be a pass for me. I'm not really looking to back either of these two teams this week.
I think there's way too many folks jagging off this week. I don't want to be a part of that party. 72% of the tickets coming in on Jacksonville, and that's why you see this line coming up. What is it, down to 1 now in favor of Indianapolis? They're laying 1 at home, you said, Mike?
It's like 1.5.
1.5. Yeah. It's interesting because I saw it as low as 1, I think, last night, and now to see it up at 1.5 still with, is a little – Vegas is rooting for Indy. I think a lot of folks from Jacksonville, that's not the spot where we play them. So if anything, I would ride Indy to be contrarian, but that's just a lean even there. I'm not looking to back Indy this week. This is a bounce back week, and that's not where I'm looking to bounce back with my money.
Yeah, no, I agree. The Colts would be the play for me, but that's just not a team that until they show me anything on both sides of the football, that's just not a team that I want to put my money on for the foreseeable future, actually.
And there's a lot of bets on that over, too, at 41.5. What was that down? 41, still 41.5, close to 41. You can get the opening line at 41.5, depending on where you look. I don't know. Maybe again, lean on the under there, too, but nothing.
Yeah, a lot of money on that under. But a lot of tickets on that over.
That third of the tickets on the under there, but I'm looking at almost all the money's coming in on that under. That might be a play there.
Yeah, I think I'm done talking about this. Both teams, to me, right here, are in a show me spot. I'm interested to see how that one shakes out, though. But I have no official play. I don't like the total. Lean Colts, but not put my money on them. All right, let's go to New Orleans. This one's interesting to me. I'm very torn. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. The Saints are getting 3 hosting the Bengals. What do you guys think?
this one smelled fishy all week long.
Right.
All right, okay, so like I'm not the only like you're
Yeah,
not
no,
the
it's
only one, or
weird.
I'm not the only one. Sean, like help us out
For
here.
sure.
Like okay,
Absolutely.
like, it's weird, and I don't know, right? It's screaming Saints, no, but I don't know if I want to do that.
I agree. But I don't. I feel like it is screaming Saints, but I also don't know if I need to get my ears checked because is it screaming Saints? I like because the Bengals actually aren't good. I feel like that number is just true, and that's dead set on it. I have no feel for how that one's going to go, and I think that is a straight up coin flip.
I think if you like the Saints here, you have to play the under. I can't back New Orleans. They're missing their top 3 receivers. They haven't been great. They're still missing Jameis. The Bengals have been in 10 straight unders. So I think if you like the Saints, you're better off with the under, and you could maybe cash that instead. I can't back New Orleans here.
Yeah, I mean the under is a great play because with no wide receivers, they're going to be using Taysom Hill. They're going to try and keep the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands. So there's going to be a lot of long drives. The under would be the play in that game for me. I just I don't trust New Orleans because I don't even know who they are this year. So I just don't know.
I think not. I think because you don't trust either team enough, right? Like that's why I'm going to stay away from an under with 70% of the tickets on it. I mean, yeah, like, everybody, like I'm not afraid of an under, but when everybody else is riding it like that, you're looking at a total with, a Cincinnati offense that we're just kind of waiting to pop off, and a New Orleans offense again. We're down there. I could see this game kind of going out of hand. Like thinking like to last week's New Orleans Seattle game, just maybe a high scoring game, especially with Vegas rooting for that too. Yeah, I would maybe lean away from. I'm leaning away from that side, the total, but I'm just going to stay away in general. I don't know. I think this, like I said, this one smelled weird all week.
Yeah, if it smells weird, don't touch it. All right, let's go to Lambeau. They're giving 7.5 to a Jets team that's getting a lot of praise lately. Fast. What do you guys think about that spread?
Yeah, early look at it at -7 before it started getting out of hand a little bit. I would have leaned to the Packers coming off that bad loss last week in London. That Jets game just got out of hand. It was close the majority of that game, and I don't think we should be overvaluing the Jets for beating Skylar Thompson with no prep. So, I would lean to the Packers here, but I'm not looking to lay over a touchdown with them. They're not explosive enough, and they just don't really score enough for me so far this year.
I admittedly bought the 7.5 with the Jets earlier in the week, kind of sat on it just to see how that would play out and whether, if it would come down, if we get some value out of it, see if it went up high, maybe either cash out of it or make a play on Green Bay. So I'm still sitting on the 7.5. And I mean, just looking at it, I don't necessarily like the ticket. The Jets are getting most of the play here, but like I told you guys coming on, like I'm just looking to fade in general, particularly the teams coming off that London spot and both in, win or lose, just both teams coming back. I think there's just a general trend in terms of defenses having a hard time to getting going, coming back from that trip and just those teams in general. So that's why I'm fading the Packers. Maybe try to hedge that play with a little bit more of a first half play. So might look towards Jets first half, Packers under first half team total. Again, play that slow start angle and maybe try to find a way to either hedge or make a play off that 7.5 that I'm on for the total game.
I'm taking the Packers -7.5. And it's funny, Rob. I like your theory with the jet lag, but those two teams are the only two official plays that I have. I love the Packers in this spot in a get right, and everybody's high on the Jets and low on the Packers in Lambeau. Get the fuck out of here. What world are we living in that people are looking to back the New York Jets in Lambeau? What and people, this actually is pissing me off. That Dolphins game, scoreboard does not reflect how that game went at all with a third-string quarterback that had no practice reps. He had opportunities to win that game. He didn't play bad. I'm not putting the loss on him at all. It's not his fault. But the Jets pulled away on some slop scores at the end. The Dolphins were in that football game the entire time. And you're going to tell me all of a sudden the Jets are like legit and everybody's backing them. I get they're getting 7.5. I think the Packers beat the dog shit out of the Jets today. I feel very strongly about the Pack. Go Pack.
Go Pack. Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, either way, like I said, either way, I said I don't feel great about the 7. I don't feel as good about the plus 7.5 as you do about laying the 7.5. That's for sure. So, if that's what you like, then, we could certainly cash that out and make that the official play. I'm more than happy to ride that enthusiasm because that's about as all we're going to get from you on a hangover.
Oh, dude, that little rant took all the energy that I had left in me. I feel like winded from that.
All right, then we'll give you the Packers.
We got to get off this game because I'm pissed off about the Jets and the love that they're getting this week. All right, we're going to Cleveland. This is another wanky one to me. I have no clue what is going on in Cleveland. They're laying 2.5 hosting New England. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I lean to the Patriots here. I thought Cleveland was pretty disappointing last week. They just got the ball run down their throat, the entire game. And that's all New England's going to try and do here. Mm-hmm. Bill Belichick's pretty familiar with Jacoby Brissett. He's been in that system before. I would just lean to the Patriots here, but it's not an official play for me for sure.
I would buy the Patriots at the 3. I see it's on DraftKings at the 3. You got to pay a little extra. You got to pay 5 cents extra, but I would take the field goal and the Patriots. Cleveland I think it's going to be a slow game. I think Cleveland has the ground game that could also I don't know, that can cut both ways against New England defense. I think both teams could. I'm looking at the total here too. 45 seems like a high total, I think, for this game as well. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I don't know. Because I could see both teams committing to the ground game, but at the same time, there's not enough in that Cleveland team for me to back them at home, right? Laying a field goal. I like catching the field goal there in New England, so I'd buy that. And on the total, I'm looking at that now. Yeah, wow. See, actually, there's a lot of movement on that over, or a lot of money on that over. So I would stay away from there because that doesn't check out with my gut. But I do like New England.
This game's a stay away from me. Browns defense is terrible. It's just bad in every aspect of football. They're not good.
Like any other defense, it's that pass rush, right? And you haven't seen it. You've had Garrett. They've had their issues along. Otherwise, but. If you're not getting to the quarterback, that defense is as average as any other.
Yeah. I don't like that defense. I like a good scripted game by Belichick coming in. Like you said, Sean, emphasis on the run it down their throat, control the game clock. I like the Pats getting a field goal in that one, but I'm not putting my money on it. All right. Are we done talking about that slop football game?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're in Miami. They're getting 3.5 hosting the Vikings. This is another one that I feel really weird about.
This is my first official play. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins plus 3.5. Skylar Thompson, we actually get a week of practice. He knows he's playing. But even if he does suck, we still have Teddy Bridgewater on the bench, cleared, ready to go, is the backup for today. I'm not sure why they're not starting him. I would assume it's they're under the gun from the NFL or whoever looking at them with the concussion thing. But I like the Dolphins getting 3.5 here. Kirk Cousins out of Minnesota again. And last time he was out of Minnesota, he was in Philly getting his ass kicked. It's only their second true away game. They played in London, but both teams are on the road there. So there's no home field advantage there. The Dolphins have been pretty good at home. So I'm going to take them plus the 3.5.
I'm a rider. I'm riding with Sean. Dolphins 3.5. Book it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. To me, that line seems fishy with a third-string quarterback. It's weird. I don't like that number at all. I think the Dolphins probably win that game outright. All right, let's go to New York. Another New York team getting a lot of praise. I feel like this one's a little more deservedly so, but they're also getting 5.5 hosting the Ravens.
Yeah, this is an official play for me as well. I'm taking the 5.5 with the New York Giants. Firstly, Wink Martindale, the Giants' new defensive coordinator, was the Ravens' defensive coordinator for Lamar Jackson's entire career. I think they're going to build off that momentum off that win last week. in the Packers. I think everyone just thinks they're going to come home and just lay an egg here. But I can't lay 5.5 with that Baltimore defense. They haven't been good. They're susceptible to the run. And I think they're going to have a plan to at least try and contain Lamar Jackson. So I'll take the 5.5 here.
Yeah, I mean, I laid the 5.5 earlier in the week. Again, this was me thinking I was going to be smart on a Wednesday, like with the Jets play, but thinking that would get closer to the 6.5 round. It didn't. So I do not feel as good about the Ravens again, like the Jets play with all the money now coming in on Baltimore. So I think actually, yeah, maybe even buy out there that Giants spot, Sean. It's a good. There's nobody on it. It's like it's you're on an island tonight with the New York Giants, and you gotta love that. It's you, Vegas, and and probably a couple.
I like my chances.
Yeah, I like your chances. So again, like I'm probably leaning more towards buying out of that, but haven't looked at just the market on that than I would the Jets one. But yeah, so that's where that early play. We may ride with it, but it doesn't look as good now, like the Giants.
I feel like the Ravens aren't that good. They can't close out a game. They're just not scary. Their defense stinks. And just a lot of points to be giving on the road. So for that reason, I'm with you on the Giants there. All right. This is another weird one to me. I don't know what to think about this line. We're in Atlanta. They're getting 4 hosting the Niners. And the Falcons are banged up and they're getting 4. That seems strange.
Yeah, I mean, I'd lean to the Niners here. I mean, it's certainly chalk, but I mean, they're good on the East Coast. They can run the ball. The Falcons defense kind of stinks. They're missing a bunch of pieces on offense, but it's just a lean for me. Nothing that I feel too strongly about.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make Atlanta another official play. They're 5-0 against the spread.
Yep.
I mean, last week that was like one of the few bright spots, at least for my card. If only the bright spot, right? The only spot, with a little backdoor sneaky cover in the second half there on Tampa Bay. I love the way the market looks on the spread now. They're catching 70% of the cash with under 50% of the tickets. Yeah, they're banged up, Mike, but I think they just are playing solid football behind Mariota. Like they're just playing decent enough football to compete, and at home catching 4. I also similar to you mentioned about I don't think the Niners are that great.
Yeah.
Because to be laying 4 on the road in Atlanta right now against an Atlanta team that's covering the spread. Again, a team that's competing in games. I agree. I think the Niners are better off with Garoppolo than they are Lance, but I don't think. Yeah, I back Atlanta in the spot.
I feel like I agree with you, Rob. I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. I feel like this looks like free money with the Niners, but it's probably not going to be. All right, let's go to LA. Lane 10 with the Panthers, fresh off of a Matt Rule fire. Everybody saw that one coming. I'm surprised he lasted that long into this season. What do you guys think here?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing that galvanizes, a group of men like firing your head coach and playing with your third-string quarterback. If I had to bet this game, which I'm definitely not, I would lean to Carolina. I don't know who the Rams are to be laying 10 anywhere, at home, on the road, wherever. I don't care who they're playing. It's not a team I want to back. The Carolina's just not strong enough on their defensive front to really take advantage of what I think the Rams' biggest weakness is, that offensive line. Mm-hmm. So I would lean to Carolina, but it's a pass for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd lean at most Carolina. How ironic. I mean, we knew Rule was going down with the ship, unfortunately. And again, shout out Matt Rule. Sucks that it didn't work out in Carolina. But how ironic is that P.J. Walker's starting the game after Rule goes out, his quarterback from Temple, so that sucks. But market likes PJ Walker. I think, Sean, there's some big money on PJ as the third string going into LA. I mean, because the Rams haven't necessarily blown anybody out or wowed you to this extent in the year. But at the same time, it's more of just a lean. I wasn't back in the Panthers with Baker or Rule at the helm, right? Both guys are now out this week at least. But still not enough for me to ride with the Panthers. That's that you're probably looking at a number 1 draft pick in Carolina.
I think the Panthers win today. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Wow.
I've got a feeling about it.
3.5 to 1 now on the money line, Mike.
Yep. I'm looking at it. I think they win today, but I'm not putting my money on it. All right. Last ugly football game before we get to the real bread and butter and arguably the two best games of the year. We're in Seattle. They're getting 2.5 hosting Arizona. Why is Arizona a 2.5 point favorite?
I can't understand it. I really don't. I don't understand how Arizona gets priced or the love they get. I mean, even here, they're getting 53% of the tickets right now. People are betting Arizona. I would lean to Seattle first quarter, first half here. Seattle's been one of the best first quarter teams in the league, and Arizona has yet to score a point in the first quarter through 5 weeks. So that would be my play if I had to bet this game. It would be Seattle first quarter money line because the plus a half is like minus 150 or so. So that would be my play, but it's a pass for me.
I have locked in Seattle money line 120. I totally agree with you, Mike. I don't think the Cardinals are a good team, let alone should be a team that's favored against a very decent Seattle team and a good Seattle offense. A very efficient Geno Smith, the most efficient in the league if you want to go by the numbers. Like, the offense is obviously tailored more specific to Geno and just the way that they're running things in Seattle, but it's been competitive and it's been working. So I don't think they should be 2.5 point underdogs in this game. I don't think we should be catching 20 cents on the money line. So I like the 120. I'm sure it was probably even better throughout the week, but I bought it this morning. So I'm in on Seattle this week to win the game.
I have no feel for this. I don't have any idea on how that one's going to shake out. I don't understand the number. All right. I'm done talking about bad football, and I'm actually excited to take a nice 3-hour nap during that 1 o'clock slate because there's not one game I want to watch. Let's go into KC. Home dogs, man. In this game last year, we thought we won that bet twice. Josh Allen won it for us twice. And Mahomes, that son of a bitch, had to break our hearts 2 times. What do you guys think is going to happen in this one?
It's ultimately going to be a pass for me, but there's no way I'm laying 2.5, 3 in Arrowhead against Pat Mahomes, who's never lost as an underdog. I just feel disrespectful doing that to Pat Mahomes. So it's just going to be a pass for me. I'm just going to enjoy the game.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think there's enough even action there on the spread that like I don't even want to make the contrarian play on Kansas City there. It would just be a lean, like Sean said. I think it's going to be a great game. I don't know how. Yeah, compared to what we got in the playoffs last year, I don't know how you can't be looking forward to this one. 54.5 seems pretty high in terms of a total. Is that what is it? Most spots, 53. Actually, 53.5.
53.5 now.
Yeah, 53.5 on FanDuel. Still, 54. So 54.5 out west. 53.5, 54 here on the East Coast. That's what I mean. At the look, I don't know. Do you guys think that's too high? I mean, we know how it went. When they last played. But do you see something like that happening again, or do they play it a little bit tighter? Going into Monday night.
I mean, it would just be a guess for me. Sorry not to cut you off, Mike, but if there's if there's 2 teams that deserve a 54-point total, it's these 2 teams.
Yeah, dude.
So, I mean, it would just be a contrarian under for me if that's the side you were looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to bet the under, you're just trying to fade the public.
Right.
My thing is you're talking about 2 quarterbacks that literally can make any play happen. I feel like, to me, Mahomes being a home dog is disrespectful, but the Bills have to win this game. They cannot go back into Kansas City in the playoffs because we all know what's going to happen. If you can't beat them today, I feel like that sets a precedent that you guys won't ever beat them, and you're going to have to go play them away in the playoffs. You don't want that. They know how important this is. I mean, both teams know the winner of this probably will get the 1 seed in the AFC, in my opinion. So this game has major Super Bowl playoff implications on the line, and I think the Bills have to win it, and for that reason, I'm not betting the Bills. I do not feel good about what happened last year, and I cannot fade Andy Reid and Mahomes being dogs at home. I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt the Bills have all the motivation in the world here, and they need a win here. So they could come out hot. I wouldn't be mad at looking at a live Kansas City play if they fall behind 1-2 scores as they've been doing recently. So I think this could be an opportunity for a live bet game. I think it goes down to the wire.
I think you live bet any team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, just like last week's Kansas City game right against the Raiders. I mean, that was a prime live bet spot when they went down 17-0. I mean, that's especially when we were on the Raiders. I mean, that's screaming middle of Kansas City. And if they go down a score early, or if they're down at the half, I think you have another spot here, because I think Patty Mahomes is going to keep in this game. I just some of the things he does, I've never seen, and I don't know how he gets away with. But I think he's going to keep him in this game, just like at the end of the playoffs, and I could see it being a tight game. So I think I like the live spot a lot.
Yeah, I would try and find a good number here. Key player in that game to me, besides the quarterbacks, I think the most important guy on the field is going to be Von Miller.
I mean, that's what they brought him in for, right?
Yeah, they to battle Patrick Mahomes. So, and he's been playing out of his mind all season. Von Miller to me is the most important player on the field besides the quarterbacks.
All right, well, if we're doing key players real quick, I got one.
Right,
the Bills safety, Jordan Poyer, who's typically pretty good against tight ends. If you can contain Travis Kelce a little bit after his 4-touchdown performance last week, I think that goes a long way.
All right, I'll go with my boy Gabe Davis, because I think can he match the level of success that he had last go around with this matchup? And just as of late, right, he went off last week. I know I asked you boys for some fantasy advice. Gabe's on my squad, and I mean, I have a little other bias with it too. But idea here, just like I said going into the year, looking at previewing Kansas or Buffalo. Stephon Diggs, if he were to draw most of the attention from the Kansas City defense, similar to like what happened in the playoffs last year, can Davis open up and make it take advantage of some opportunities with some space? I think maybe so. So I look for him to have an impact, at least on the Buffalo side.
I don't think the Bills are going to have a problem getting in the end zone. It's going to come down to, are they going to be able to close the game out when it matters most?
It sets up great that you can go through the chunk, the 1 o'clock slate. Mike's gonna sleep off the hangover. Sean and I will get into the 1 o'clock slate. We can enjoy that, and then by the time Mike wakes up, we could all enjoy the football game.
Great football.
Before eventually we get to lead into the main course this evening.
I think it's the Birds by a fucking million. By a fucking million, dude. Birds win. Phillies are going to the NLCS. Come on.
I agree. This is my favorite play of the weekend. I'm taking the Eagles minus the 6.5.
Sean coming in.
Losing the last 3 games to the Cowboys. I mean, the last 3 games, the Cowboys have really dominated this Eagles team. Jalen Hurts has never beat the Cowboys. The Eagles have a bye next week. This is an all-in, max motivation, must win in Philly. Philadelphia as a town is on fire. I just think there's no way they don't get it done tonight.
A lot of pressure.
How do you top with the man? Yeah, I love it. I'm like auto betting. Like Sean says, favorite play of the week, Bird. I'm like, can't put it in fast enough. It's in for me too. I'm riding. I mean, that's enough of fading the Birds and trying to play it that way. I'm looking at it now, and yeah, I mean, you're getting a decent amount of the money still coming in on Birds, even with it moving up to 6.5 from the 5.5 earlier in the week. Let's ride. Go Birds by a million, just like Mike said.
Yeah, and real quick, I mean, I think this is a 2-score game. Dallas, the last couple weeks, I mean, Cooper Rush has been all right. He's been a game manager, but they've been winning with their defense and that defensive line. I mean, Micah Parsons has been going crazy. The Bengals, who they played the Rams last week, I forget the game in between, but they're not going to be able to do that to the Eagles. All offensive line starters are back. Avonte Maddox back. I mean, they're ready to go. They're healthy. By next week, it's all in time.
Yeah, go off, King. I'm with you, bro.
It's time.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take a nap now. I'm fucking gonna be pacing for the next 4 hours, dude. Key player to me today is Lane Johnson, and it's like just show the young man what it's really like. You cannot let him dictate how the offense is going to operate. Fuck that dude. I'm a big Micah Parsons fan, but fuck that dude today. Lane Johnson has to bully him. I want to see. I think the Eagles O-line, Jason Kelsey went into that locker room first practice this week. It was like, everybody man's the fuck up this week. I don't care about the injuries. Everybody's banged up. We're all riding out. And I think they're going to get serious push up front come 8 o'clock.
Big A.J. Brown day. Big
you think
A.J.
so?
Brown day.
I like that.
I think so too, actually. Now you bring that up. I mean, dude, you look at the boys. They're not scared. Ooh, so Diggs is going to be on AJ. Oh, get
Got
that
burnt
man
twice last week.
fucking bite, dude. Couple bubbles. Bink, how you doing? See you later.
Statement game for sure tonight.
I like that for AJ. I want to take Mike's same energy, but I'm going to apply it to the defensive line. All right.
Go ahead.
Same thing, Mike. Like, I talked about this all off season previews. I always go back to that game in Dallas last year, the game that meant something, right? Because at the end of the year, we didn't mean anything at that point for the Birds, at least. For whatever reason, it meant something for the Cowboys. But this game obviously means something for both teams. It has to, both sides of the ball, both lines have to come with their lunch pail tonight. On the defense side of the ball, that I'm picking Josh Sweat. I wanted somebody on the end, step up. I think it starts up front like it always does. Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave. You're going to get a third of the snaps with Jordan Davis. I want to see what kind of role he plays in this kind of matchup. So it starts up front in the middle. But with that, I expect them to continue to get that push that they've been getting this season. But now I'm looking for who's going to make plays on the outside, and I'm looking for a guy like a Sweat, to maybe step up and get a couple sacks tonight.
You like Sweat? Okay, I'm thinking. Him.
We'll have to take a look at that. Maybe later. You have it up right now. What hit?
Plus 160, plus 166 to record a sack.
Remember that's. I mean, to me that seems a little low because we were talking about this when we were making plays for the Dallas Giants game. What was it, a couple Sunday nights ago or Thursday? That Dallas offensive line, they didn't let anybody get to Cooper Rush. They've been protecting him well too. In addition to Sean's play, he's been managing the game well because that line banged up line has given him the time to do so. I'm looking for the Eagles to disrupt that, and they can. I know this Eagles defensive line is better than that Cowboys offensive line in its current state.
I'm in full agreement with you. I think you dial it up. Their weapons are weapons. They're solid. I'm not like no one over there is terrifying. Kaiser White, I think he's gonna have a big day. Stop the run, force them to put the ball in Cooper Rush's hands, get up early on him, and dial it up. Put Slay on CD, Bradbury on Gallup, and fuck it. They do not scare me as an Eagles fan at all. And that is why I'm not betting them, and I'm doing you all a favor. Because I have no fear in my heart about this. So, yeah, I think those two games, man, those are shaping up to be like games of the year type of stuff. I think we're getting blessed on week 6, 4:30 and 8:30. I can't wait. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add?
No, I think it actually could be underwhelming. I don't think the Cowboys are going to score a ton tonight, to be honest.
Well, I'm saying for us.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fuck how everybody else feels.
Tonight. I think we control the Cowboys pretty easily, get to them, stop the run, do what we do.
I'm thinking, like I said this, what was it, a couple weeks ago when Snell jumped on, when I went off on the Cowboys, they are not how they've gotten to this point with Cooper Rush. I and being as banged up as they are, I don't understand it. I know they got some playmakers on defense. That defense is solid, and that really is the answer, I guess. But I'm looking for the Eagles to take it to them, Sean. And just like you said tonight, 2008, 40-6, stop. I want to see Jerry and the big boy from New Jersey, crying next to each other all night tonight. Every time they cut to them, because they're going to be cutting to them all night. So every time I see it, I just want those long faces. That I don't want any smiles up in that booth.
Yeah. Oh, also comment left. That place is going to be rocking.
Yeah,
rocking. That's going to play
major
factor today.
So you're telling me Cooper Rush is coming into Philly and doing something?
No.
Why this town is on fire like this?
Yeah, right.
Like,
right.
come on.
Like you
Come
said,
on.
there's already gasoline lit. The match has already been lit. The Phillies put this bitch up yesterday, right? Like, so they're ready to blast off again tonight.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some funny videos tomorrow morning of some scrappy situations down at the link. And I will be in the comfort of my own home.
Don't look now, but are the Philadelphia Flyers also not 2-0?
Yeah, I mean, if
I'm gonna not look now.
The universe might explode.
Yeah, honest to God, I just don't even give a shit.
Nope.
Universe might explode tonight.
Yeah. All right, everybody, enjoy the slate.
Free basketball pick. Sixers money line. Tuesday.
Love that.
Tuesday. Get ahead on it.
Yep.
You're feeling good about the city.
Money line.
Bro, they should have you
solid. When he's that quick on it, I'm already betting.
Mark my words, Sean's gonna be ringing the bell one of these home games for him.
I can't wait. We already have the unit in on the Sixers money line Tuesday. I love this.
All right, boys. I'm not taking a nap anymore. I'm fucking fired up.
All right, well,
I'm just gonna open up some red and just get after it. All right, everybody, enjoy week 6. Go Birds, baby. God damn, I'm fired up.